8 months ago, I raced my first ever Hyrox, and well, I got humbled. See, I grew up playing football, and despite 6 knee surgeries, a hiatus of being a full-time Fortnite streamer for a few years, I somehow thought I'd be a lot better than what I was. But running a 108 Pro Solo sparked something in me. I became obsessed, and 6 months later I ran a 59.14 Pro Solo on a Cardiff course that was notoriously slow. My next race is a Pro Solo at Birmingham, and that will mark an exact year since I started this new sport. I'm aiming to go sub 57 and to use this next season to really bridge the gap to the top elite athletes. In today's video, I'll be taking you with me for a few days of training and showing you a little bit more of how I set up my training weeks to see such a big Hyrox improvement. As you can see, we're kind of in this new pain cave that has come together a lot more since you've last seen it, and a video on that will be coming soon. We've got a skier, we've got an assault bike, rower, we've got our Zwift bike here, we've got our ice bath outside. We are fully stacked for this big off-season build. Anyway lads, let's get started with the training day. Today is it's a Tuesday, and that is one of my harder days of the week. I go easy, hard day, polarizing and making sure that you do have hard days and you do have really easy days. It's such an important part of not only my training block and how I'm able to progress my training, but for anyone that is serious about trying to improve. This morning we have got a threshold run, but what I like to do is I like to just get on the bike before we go into our runs, just for an extra little bit of a warm-up, and also just to add some more volume in there. As you lot have seen, like, a big emphasis and focus for me is my overall training hours and just making sure that we are hitting them consistently. And a majority of those training hours, by the way, are easy zone 1, zone 2 intensities. So we're going to just do 15-20 minutes on here, around like 160, 170 watts. Nice easy zone 1 like type pace. Go out for a warm up and then get into our threshold efforts, which is going to be 5-minute intervals. We're going to do 5 or 6 of them, nothing crazy, and then we're in the gym this afternoon. So let's get after it. A little bit of a stretch, done our bike, 2-kilometer warm up. We'll come back, change into some carbons. I'm not sure how today's session's going to feel, man. This weekend we had a bit of a, like, I'm going to call it a refeed. We ate a little bit of shit, which is probably the first time in so long, but I was getting to that point, I don't know if anyone else does, where I started just eating so much of, like, what's classed as good carbs, as long as you have it in moderation, things like toast, oats, but I started just eating way too many, and it was a sign for me that before we go into this big build that I need a little bit of a blowout. So what do we have? Nando's, bit of a Chinese, and some dessert. So might be feeling heavy this run. Yes lads, so little warm up like I said. I actually feel alright today, probably because we're filled with so many carbs. I'm just worried when we start moving at faster speeds. But today we're going to aim for like 325s. But like, I might feel the extra weight. At number 2 boys. Let's go. 319. This is biting so hard today. One thing I will say is a lot of my work last few months has gone away from like these faster running sessions and gone more towards true threshold. The ability to sustain like a good speed, it's not a top end speed, but for longer durations, because that is the most specific to Hyrox. So my 5k, like I do park run every Saturday at the end of a hard week, and I normally run like a 16:30, 16:40 as not a flat out, but just a strong effort after a hard week. I feel like with a taper, our 5k is probably close to 16 minutes, but if I want to run any faster than that, I'm going to have to put in a specific block for it, I reckon, because running at these paces, it fucking hurts right now. Whew. Right, so people, run session completed it. We're going to go through the splits. I feel like in this build, in this series, I want to be more transparent with the exact splits, my mindset, my approach to training. Because when I watch people on YouTube, I love seeing those little nerdy details. So I'm going to try to share that with you today. Now, just for a bit of insight, my running throughout the week typically goes as follows. We have 3 hard days, 3 hard running days. Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. Tuesdays for faster paces, so more like LT2 threshold. Typically that sits at around 3:25 per kilometre paces. Shorter intervals, we've built our fitness till we still have quite short rests, so like 60 seconds to 90 seconds. But again, faster speeds, shorter intervals. We then on Thursday go to more LT1, so like our slower threshold running, typically 3:30 to 3:35 per kilometre, but we do longer efforts, longer durations. And then on Saturday we kind of combine the two. We have a faster park run effort, and I love practicing going from a fast hard effort, fatiguing the legs, and then trying to get comfortable at holding a target Hyrox race pace, or more like a Hyrox race pace after that faster running work. So we'll do a park run effort into some extended intervals, like 2 kilometre efforts at like 3:35 per kilometre pace again. Now today essentially turned into that Saturday session because for some reason I had the urge to run faster than my 3:25s that I normally do on my Tuesdays, and we did 4 times 5 minutes at, literally, you can see the splits on the screen, all of them sat at 3:18 per kilometre average, off 90 seconds rest, and it did bite us a little bit today, I'll be real. Because I wanted to make sure we got decent volume in, we then did what we do on Saturday and then added 2 times 1.5 kilometres on the end, which we average, literally we've got it here, 3:33 per kilometre, then 3:31. Obviously that doesn't include our warm up and warm down. There we go, splits done. We now need to go refuel. We've got some editing, some programming to do, and then we're heading to the gym for another hard session. So Greek yogurt, look at this, beautiful. Let's get some spoons in there. Here we go, little refuel. We got Greek yogurt, banana, some protein, and we have got 1 slice of honey on toast. Ready for the next session. Yes boys, session completed it. That was a sweaty one, man. It's getting quite hot outside. Coming up to a little mini heat wave in the UK. All for that. But in the gym, look, I am dripping with sweat right now. Session today. 20 minutes continuous, 500 metre row at 150 over 500 metres, straight into 18 burpees to plate. Just back and forth, no rest, 20 minutes continuous. Then we went into 3 minutes rest, then into a 25-minute EMOM of 1 minute assault bike, 1 minute sled push, 1 minute lunges, 1 minute dumbbell snatch, 60 seconds rest times 5. Then we rested and went into a 10-minute EMOM of 20 ball balls every minute. Gave us about 18 seconds rest, 20 seconds rest. That was tough after the lunges and the sled push. And actually the dumbbell snatches is quite like a movement that's similar to wall balls. So tough sesh, sweating. Didn't want to push it too hard. Again, I'm just trying to make sure I can stay consistent so I can push volume rather than smashing myself. So feel good. Don't know how I'm going to feel tomorrow with those wall balls. I'm hoping, because our wall ball volume has been quite high recently, that we actually cope quite well with it, because wall balls is probably a station that we can easily drop a minute off just by adding more consistent wall ball volume. Like, I think last week in total, must have done like 600 wall balls, honestly. But it's just adding that extra volume of wall balls throughout your week and then letting your body adapt so you can still hit your run quality, still hit your sessions that you normally do with that added volume of wall balls, which takes a bit of adaptation, 100%. So I'm going to have to like
firm, which I kind of had the last week, that my sessions that I'm normally feeling comfortable with, not as much so, but we're getting there now. So hopefully tomorrow we actually feel all right, and we're going to have another big day Saturday. Obviously tomorrow will be a nice easy aerobic day, get the volume in, Saturday park run and a hard day. So let's get home, get some food, lads, and back to the laptop to graft.
Action runs in the building. We're gonna get right into it, man. We need to, you know, everybody that comes up here gotta rock it. So I'm gonna rap.
Cooking so.
Good morning, people. It is Wednesday. Is it Wednesday? Yeah. We had our hard day yesterday, and today is low zone. And we're bloody hell, mate. Got a bulk electrolytes. We're starting today off with a little bit of a brick sesh. Plan for today: low zone aerobic, some upper body strength, maybe some erg. So we're going to start with a brick sesh. We're going to do 45 minutes to an hour on the bike, zone 1/low zone 2, and then we're going to go into an easy 10-kilometer run. We're still finishing off the pain cave, but we did recently get this beautiful canvas come through. We've got a few other bits coming. Nice easy day today with some upper body strength in. Body's feeling it a little bit from yesterday. We progressed it from last week's Tuesday, and in terms of like the gym session we did in the evening. So our legs are feeling it a little bit, but we are like, this is our 5th week of hitting 20 hours training volume, and the truth is, when it comes to building up your volume in your week, and if you are able to see the bigger picture and not just try and smash intensity right off the bat thinking that's going to get you fitter, a lot of your work will be easy, zone 1, zone 2 stuff, ticking the boxes, building the foundation, so then later on when you want to layer on top more and more intensity and do those quality sessions that will move the needle forward, you need to have that ability to just be like, okay, we're going to have our hard days, our hard sessions, but we're also going to have a lot of easy work, building that aerobic volume, mitochondria development, and today is all about that. So just set ourselves up on the bike. What do you want? Hey. The best thing about this thing, honestly, like, I do so much bike work through my week just because, again, as a heavier athlete, if I was to try and get the same amount of like zone 1, zone 2 volume outside running, it would absolutely destroy me, and it saves my body and my legs for like the important run sessions. But this bike's been a game changer. Before I was sat on like a typical watt bike in the gym for hours and hours each week, but now we can load up YouTube. This has got Netflix, this has got everything, so yeah, it is a bit dirty actually.
Split today, the good thing is, as they say down here, vacuum marshal. For the first half.
Brain, my ankle mobility.
So this is my stretch spot. How far is it? I don't know if my watch will say. It's about a couple minutes into the run. I'll stop here, have my final stretch off on my easy runs, and then we'll get going. Currently chilling, 4:30-ish pace. I know I said I capped it, but I can't help myself. I feel quite good, to be fair, so as long as the heart rate's in the zone, I'm chilling.
Got a lot in common, we're both 22, we both spill juice. They keep asking me who I fuck with, but I don't know these new plate youths. I done ching man out of his boots, but I ain't the type to go talk up news. Studs covered in mud, it's true. I love being seen, not heard that too. I already know how to grip and shoot. Way before I laid down tracks at booth. If your ting went click but it did not rip, then hand it to me, I might know what to do. I ain't got not one screw, I'm loose. Tarnish friends if you can't get you.
Oh, another session ticked off. Bosh. Yes, people, so gym session completed it. We laid in some zone 1/zone 2 bike work 30 minutes before, 20 minutes afterwards, and then we did our upper body strength work, which was weighted pull-ups. Well, you'll have seen what we did.
with some dumbbell holds in the end, some Hyrox specific bits of like the drop sets of the shoulder, dropping the weight lower but just doing higher reps. My shoulder endurance has come on a lot since like my first set of Hyrox races, and I put it down to like having specific upper strength sessions that are made for just that, not top end strength but strength endurance, and being really specific with it. I feel like Hyrox is very kind of biased towards having good top end pull strength and just being really strong with the pull, and on the other end with the push strength it being more an endurance focused push movements with your burpees and your wall ball.
Right, big meal time. We have got chicken, rice. Now a big part of this build is tracking my macros, which I'll be real, something that I haven't done in a long time because I've been training for a while now just to fuel, and I haven't been worried about dropping body fat, leaning up, but as I've been mentioning, I feel like it has to become a big part of this initial phase of the build where I need to be in some type of deficit. I need to drop body fat. When I compare again where I'm at body fat wise to these top guys, I am significantly off it. Clearly, it is quite a clear difference. Now, dropping body fat, dropping weight isn't the answer for everyone, and I feel like a lot of people, especially with social media at the minute in the Hyrox scene specifically, are jumping on the let's drop weight because it will fast track my improvement of running, etc. It isn't the route for everyone to take, but again for me it is quite an obvious one, which is exciting because I feel like we've built such a good level of fitness, our running's in such a good spot. If we can lock this in, have like a mini base building phase that, yes, we try and maintain volume, but we're not too fixated on the progression of intensity. It's more about getting our body fat to where I'm kind of happy with it. Then we can go back to maintenance, and then we can start really progressing training. I feel like that'll work quite well. I always say this to the guys that I work with, especially right now when we have the off season, you have a longer build into a race. If you're looking to manipulate nutrition and be in any type of deficit, if it is suitable for you, now's the time to do it, because you don't really want to be doing it later on in your training phases when you are trying to build intensity, when you are trying to progress training week in, week out. Being in a deficit just really isn't going to be optimal for that, and you're going to end up crashing. You're probably not going to be able to sustain a deficit for too long, and it could lead to injury and all of that stuff. So currently our total for today, which includes this, which I've kind of weighed, kind of tracked, I've put it at 1,000 calories. Our macros so far for today are 2,900 calories, 180 grams of protein, 320 grams of carbs, 90 grams of fat. Now, I use Hyrox, and Hyrox doesn't include like non-active calories, so what your body will naturally burn without training. It only shows active calories. At the minute my total is on 2,374. I'm probably sitting around burning 4,200 to 4,400. I'm looking to sit in around a 500 calorie deficit, so we're going to eat this and we're still going to have like 800 calories to spare, which will have a protein shake probably later, or some protein yogurt just to get more protein in, more carbs to fuel tomorrow's session, which is going to be a more intense session. But this is day one of tracking. Let's see how long it lasts. Let's see. I'm going to be completely transparent with the days that I don't feel as great because I'm in a deficit, and I think over time it compounds. Right, to begin with not too bad, but as you get like 7 days in, 10 days into a deficit, especially at one of 500 calories, it can start to get to you a bit. So let's see how long we can last. Anyway, let's eat up. We've got a lot of work and editing to do.
People, so we are at the athletics track. Just got to the car park. Since our last build up and lead into Cardiff, I haven't done a track session in a while. I've tried to. I've gone 3 times to my usual track and there's been sports days going on. But today, LT1 type run sesh, looking at 2 times 4k, 3 times 3k, maybe a 3 times 4k if we're feeling really good. We're just going to see. We're going to get warmed up, do the first set of 4 kilometers, and then just kind of assess from there, I think. Right, we have made it. Beautiful looking track. Everything we need. Electrolytes. We're going to do some mobility, get warmed up, a couple kilometers around the track, and we are good to go. Little warm up, bit of mobility, some strides. Warm up done. 2 kilometers plus, about 3 times 100 meter strides. Can't lie, energy feels low, man. I don't know whether it's placebo in my head because it's our second day of our deficit, but we ate quite a good amount this morning. We had 2 sourdough toast slices, honey, a banana sliced on top, and a squares bar. It's also one of them where we've had quite a big week. Tuesday we actually ran faster speeds than what we have in previous weeks. We've still been hitting all our gym sessions, still been including like the high wall ball, lunge and burpee volume in the last couple of weeks. So this is all a part of the build phase, man. Like, I was speaking to my client actually recently who's in the exact same phase as me right now, the build phase, and for them just training more often, training with more consistency. This phase isn't about feeling great, it's about letting our body adapt, building capacity, and you have to sacrifice the quality of session sometimes in this initial phase, so then later down the line that quality becomes a bigger emphasis. Your body's adapted, you can cope with the increased volume of training, you're fitter, you're stronger. But yeah, I'm gonna put our carbons on now. Hopefully we'll get through the first 3 or 4 kilometers effort and it won't feel too bad. We're gonna probably chill at around 3:30 to 3:35 per kilometer paces. Hopefully that feels good. But yeah, let's get it, man. Rep number 1 about to go down. Rep number 1. Let's get it. Just 10 laps. Rep 1 done, 4 kilometers. 3:31 to 3:32 per kilometer average. I do not feel good today, man. Rep 2. Yeah, man. People, that is the track session completed. We did nip home, showered, and we just went to the shops to get some fuel. We need to get some food in us before this afternoon's gym session. Now, I can't lie, that track session hurt. Like, going into the session, I already knew that our legs were a little bit fatigued from Tuesday's work. We ran at faster speeds, we progressed our gym session in that afternoon from the previous weeks, and yesterday I was feeling it more than I normally do in my legs, and today I actually planned to do 2 times 4 kilometers, which was already a little bit reduced from the previous week where I did 3 times 4k, just because I was feeling good on that day. And that's the thing with your program, like, you've got to be able to adjust. You shouldn't be so close-minded that you can't adjust sessions to get the most out of your week. And sometimes, and I preach it all the time to my athletes, like, where you're building fitness, you're potentially building your training hours, the accumulative fatigue, you're going to have days and sessions where you don't feel as great, and it's important that you kind of identify that and you don't just kind of brute force your way through. There's a time and a place for that, of course, especially when we're in this build phase. Like, the main priority is stacking consistency of weeks, and the main focus is overall volume. So we actually did 1 times 4 kilometers at around 3:30 per kilometer pace, and then we did 3 times 1.2 kilometers at 3:30 off 60 seconds rest. So overall volume still pretty decent, but we modified the session. We're now going to get fueled up and head to the gym this afternoon, where we've got a lot of Hyrox specific movements: lunges, wall balls, sled pull, sled push. So let's get after it.
Take off the foo-foo, take off the cloud chase, take off the Wi-Fi, take off the money phone, take off the car loan, take off the flex and the white loss, take off the weird ass jewelry. I'ma take 10 steps, then I'm taking off top off. Take off the fabricated streams and the microwave memes. It's a real world outside. Take off your idols, take off the runway, take off the Cairo, take off the Sandro pay, 5 days stay, take a quarter meal, have a 5 Take off the fuck flag, take off perception, take off the cop with the hot pad, take off the unload, take off the unsure, take off the decisions I had, take off the fake deal, take off the fake woke, take off the humble cock here, take off the gossip, take off the new logic, then the fun with jungle, take off the shoot mill, take off the doje, take off the Birkin bag, take all of this other bullshit off, and what do you have?
You ugly as fuck. 2 ATMs, you stepping to what? Who you think they talk about? Talk about us. Who you think they coming up?
Yes, people, so it's currently 6:15. We have just done our second session and we're back. We have got food: chicken, veg, rice. We are tracking our macros, as you lot have seen, and it is painful, but I know that I eat pretty much the same food on a day-to-day basis. So once I've inputted everything I've eaten into the Hybrid 365 calculator, which is launching soon for all our athletes, just to provide some aid with nutrition, I'm going to be able to save the foods that I eat and very easily track. It's just kind of long for the first couple of days. Anyway, gym session before we eat this food. A lot of wall balls, a lot of lunges,
a lot of sled push, sled pull. Essentially we did 20 minutes easy bike before and after, so 40 minutes total of zone 1, zone 2 volume. Again, just padding that in there to get those training hours in. We went into 3 different blocks. The first block was 40-meter lunges at 30 kilos, straight into 25 wall balls at 12 kilos. 90 seconds rest, but then repeated that 5 times. We then went into 5 sets of 30-meter sled push, heavier than pro weight, and then the exact same for sled pull. I've actually just been sent a ton of equipment for the pain cave by RPM Power, which I'm going to be doing a full video on, but they also sent me a sled pull rope to use in my gym because I didn't actually have one. I can't lie, that thing is thick, lads. I'm talking gripping it and ripping it is difficult. I'm sure some of you can relate, and it is completely ripped my hands apart. But you know what, I actually kind of like that because it was a good stimulus to practice real good technique, to test my grip strength, and we went above pro weight. The sleds, I mean the carpets in that gym are all slightly different. Like every gym's different, every Hyrox race, even though the carpet is the same, is slightly different. But we always go heavier than pro weight just to kind of counteract that if there was any discrepancies. With that being said, Hyrox World Champs is starting very soon. The women's is on in 10 minutes, I believe, and then the men's obviously after that. We might do a little bit of top-up volume in the pain cave on the bike, just to get to 3 hours for the day. I'm actually on holiday, or I say holiday, yeah it is a holiday. I'm heading to France in a few days, which essentially means no gym access, I don't think, so any sessions and work that I'm doing are going to be run focused. We're going to be doing a lot of running and just body weight focus. I'm tempted to take a 10 kilo weighted vest out there, but is that silly? In my head I'm like, let's use this as a deload week, and it's going to be super hot, like 35 to 40 degrees plus. So I'm thinking double run days, bring back the intensity. In my head I tell myself, and I preach this to all my athletes, my goal right now is not chasing intensity. But it is very difficult once you've built that intensity up and the ability to cope with like a level of intensity to then come back, because it feels like you're not progressing as fast as you could. But for me, and my missing piece being that super solid aerobic base, this week is probably going to be perfect for it. A lot of heat training, a lot of running, a lot of easy work, and naturally the training hours are going to come back. So we've had 5 strong weeks after this week's finish of 20 plus hours of training volume. And this is going to be a nice week. A lot of running, heat training aspect, and I'm just going to make sure that I don't get in my own head telling myself I need to be doing more. And then we're going to come back, and then we're going to get back into another tasty training block. But that being said, I need to eat this chicken, veg, rice, keeping it simple. Looks pretty plain, but with a little bit of sauce, we should be chilling, alright? So let's keep it moving.